And with our second to last game of the night, we're coming to you live from Brossard, Quebec. We have Airbuds facing off against Nice to Meet You in the co-ed 5v5 final. In the booth, I'm Alex Dubois alongside
Brent Bakken.
And we'll be going down now to field level where Chloé Corbeil is about to interview Nicolas Pierre-Mas.
Je me trouve présentement avec Nick Pierre-Mas qui joue avec Nice to Meet You. On joue présentement dans une équipe qui est 2-8. Tu as passé toute la fin de semaine à couvrir le sideline des Championship Finals. Comment on sent de fouler le terrain à ton tour?
J'ai hâte, je suis fébrile, je suis un peu fatigué. En plus, il y a un de nos joueurs, Craig, qui est vraiment bon en défense, qui n'est pas là, donc je vais jouer défense alors que je suis plus un joueur offensif. Donc, à voir, j'ai dormi peut-être 4 heures dans les derniers 2 jours, mais on est là, c'est un championnat. Donc, on va vivre en ce moment sur les émotions, puis on va essayer de performer.
Comment tu penses que la partie va se passer? Vous avez quand même fini la saison régulière 2-8. Vous avez perdu contre Airbus, mais c'était un match assez serré, 32-27. Est-ce qu'on se sent en confiance?
Je pense que oui, honnêtement, Ben, notre carrière, il a fini premier de toute la division 1. Là, c'est co-ed 5 contre 5, mais je veux dire, c'est une carrière de qualité. Puis dans les playoffs, personne ne s'attendait à ce qu'on en sorte, puis Ben a performé. Donc en vrai, on va aller aussi loin que Ben peut nous amener. C'est vraiment ça, cette équipe-là. C'est plein de monde que lui et Abigail, qui est vraiment une bonne joueuse aussi du côté féminin, là, c'est eux qui ont assemblé cette équipe. Donc c'est eux nos éléments étoiles. S'ils performent, on peut sky's the limit. Voilà.
Parfait, donc on va pouvoir suivre ça. Ça va être un gros match en levant. Merci, Nick.
Merci à toi.
De retour à vous.
We're back.
And we're now live from the booth. Brent, Airbuds 6-4 on the record, the number 4 seed. Nice to Meet You come into this one with a 2-8 record. They finished the season as the number 7 seed. That being said, they've knocked off some heavy hitters in the playoffs, beating Spicy Braze and Flag Modquois. Yep. What's been the key to their success in this playoff run?
I mean, listen, you can throw when the playoffs roll around, right? You throw out the records. I mean, 2-8, is that a great regular season record for Nice to Meet You? No, it's not. But again, you throw out those records, it's beating the person across from you, right? Whether you're male or you're female, you're just beating the person across from you, and that's what Nice to Meet You's been able to do. You look at a lot of these playmakers: Ben McMahon, Rory Emerging, Eloise Lefebvre, Abigail Perot, Nick Pierre-Mas. They have playmakers, and they're getting plays done.
And we're good to go. Action getting underway any second now. We have the Airbuds scrimmaging from their 5-yard line in black against Nice to Meet You in white. Ethan Adrian rushing Jeff Rosenblatt in this one. And we're underway. Rosenblatt goes to his left, throws over the middle of the field, caught by Kwesi Gordon-Mall, scampers for a 7-yard gain. The tackle is made by Abigail Perrault.
It's a good drag right there by Gordon-Mall. Able to create some separation. But again, even better tackle right there by Abigail Perrault, though, limiting the gain, 6-yard gain right there on first down for Gordon-Mall.
And as a reminder, this is 5v5 rules, so it is first to midfield. A 5-yard gain is very acceptable for the defense. Something, Brent, I'm going to keep my eye on this one, is Ethan Adrian, a fantastic rusher, going up against Jeff. Well, he's a speed rusher, and Jeff gets the ball so quickly. Is that perhaps the best defensive choice that Nice to Meet You can make? Rosenblatt going long, looking towards Anthony Brisebois. The throw is out of bounds. Just missed the target on that one. He had a step.
So obviously that connection between Rosenblatt and Brisebois we saw in Division 2, unfortunately losing yesterday night to the Silent Ticklers in a Division 2 matchup. So Brisebois, of course, still looking for his first championship here in FPF. Expect to see that connection a lot between Rosenblatt and Brisebois.
Brisebois has been explosive this season. Their leading receiver, 533 yards, 11 touchdowns, 43 receptions. He has been their go-to guy offensively, flexed out to the left. Essentially what that's creating is an isolated matchup. It's going to be Brisebois against Bakary Barrett all night long. Third down, Rosenblatt under center. Looking back towards Brisebois, there is contact. The ball is in and out of the hands of Abigail Perrault. No flags on the play, no catches on the play. Fourth down. Yeah. This is a Nice to Meet You defense which has struggled throughout the regular season but has come alive in the playoffs. What coverage do you see them running?
Interesting. I think they're going to try and go maybe at least 2 down low and try to keep 3 deep over the top here to make sure to take away the deep ball. Again, we saw in the previous play, right? Brisebois, Rosenblatt was trying to hit him on that deep shot, right? So, I mean, you have to take that away. So, you have 3 down in the back end, pardon me, and at least 1 or 2 down low.
And we have coming up now a large 4th down. This is looking like 4th and 10 for the Airbuds. The Nice to Meet You defense looking to put their stamp on this game early and come away with a takeover. Their go-to man again all season has been Brisebois. You see him isolated on the left-hand side of the field. This feels like a one-on-one matchup that they will need to win. We have a double move from Brisebois at the sticks. We're looking deep towards Kwesi Gordon Mall. The ball is overthrown. Nicolas Pierre-Mas trailing in coverage, incompletion, turnover on downs.
Yeah, great coverage right there by Pierre-Mas, right in the back pocket of Gordon Mall. Had no chance to get that pass in there. So, again, strong defensive stand right there for Nice to meet you, and they're going to take over the ball now offensively.
Nicolas Pierre-Mas, more than just a pretty voice on the sideline, a fantastic player in his own right. Not someone who's played a lot of FPF recently, has been very focused on the whole media side of things, but an extraordinarily talented player coming over from tackle.
Yeah, former Bishop Gator.
Now, first down is the first look we have at this Nice to meet you offense. Ethan Adrian isolated on the right. Two receivers to Ben McMahon's left. He scrambles to his right, goes back towards his left, completes along the sidelines. That's complete towards Alissa Goulet, who has been a phenomenal player for this team. 39 receptions, 529 yards, and a touchdown. She's the most dangerous female receiver on the field at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. You can see right there she wins off of the line with her strength and her size right there, and speed as well, right? Able to make the catch on the sideline, extends the ball forward to pick up a couple extra yards.
You can see in the huddle, she's looking at Submergent right in the eye, standing shoulder to shoulder. She is tall, she is physical, a phenomenal receiver. Now second down, 2nd and 10. McMahon with the ball in his hands, looking towards his right, throwing towards his right. That's towards Ethan Adrian, waved out of bounds. That ball just a touch too far to the sideline. A throw McMahon would like to have back.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that. He would love to have that throw back again. A good route right there by Adrian, that sat down in the hole right on the sideline. Would have picked up pretty much at least near a first down. If he would have been able to get some yak yards after the catch, he definitely would have got a new set of downs for his offense. But again, a bad throw right there by McMahon.
Adrian is such a hot and cold receiver. On the season, he finished with 297 yards, but if we look at this team's semi-final game, he went off for 118 against Spicy Brave. So either he wins his matchup or he loses it, and he goes hot or cold based on that. Third down now. Ben scrambling to his left. Zalipski in hot pursuit, coming back to his right. He has a limited time to throw. The ref's counting him down, and there we go. That is the 7-second rule in effect in 5v5. An interesting caveat, Brent, to this one that I really did not know. It is not whistled dead immediately. It is thrown as a flag for violating the 7-second clock. So, for example, if you throw an interception after the 7 seconds, the play will stand. It's kind of treated like an illegal forward pass, which I didn't know up until today.
So, again, and that's that eternal clock the quarterbacks have to have in their head, right? You have to make sure you're counting those 7 seconds as soon as you get the snap from your snapper.
Exactly. And for a quarterback like McMahon, who is so shifty and so elusive, who likes to, A, extend the play far beyond 7 seconds, and who likes to run, you have to wonder if this 5v5 format is taking away of what he has to offer.
Yeah, again, he's one of the best, if not the best, dual-threat quarterback in this league, right? You put him up there with Jean-Lee Alexis.
Exactly, and here we have a third down. Ethan Adrian blasting down the sideline, and the ball a few yards out of bounds. In this owner versus commish duel, are the nerves getting to both quarterbacks early?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, they played against each other yesterday, right? Again, with Ben McMahon, again, winning with the Silent Ticklers, beating Jeff's Team Harday in Division 2. And congrats to Ben. I talked to Ben after that game. After he said, I finally won my first championship. He won one in Division 4. I think earlier in the day yesterday, I believe he was saying. But he goes, this is my first actually real championship and starting snapper. But again, and that's the versatility he brings, right? He could throw, he could catch, he could snap, he could play some defense, he could rush.
Extraordinary, versatile, fantastic athlete, and very true. I remember Vultures for the longest time had a finals curse.
Yep.
Great regular season teams who'd struggle in the playoffs. Here, Airbuds take back over the ball. That's complete to Constance Miller on first down. A healthy pickup of over 10 yards.
Yeah, good job there by Constance, turning around on the hook there, making yourself available to the quarterback and getting some yak yards after the catch as well. So Rosenblatt now looking to continue the groove that he had at least initially in the first half of that first drive.
Yep, and Constance Miller, an FPF veteran, has played at every single level in her life and dominated just about at every single one. That connection with a very savvy quarterback like Jeff, fantastic. Now, second down, looking quickly towards Brisebois, who scampers across midfield and he's tackled after gaining the first down. A fresh set of downs coming up. The first down of the game.
And it's going back to Constance Miller. Again, remember about 2 seasons ago, she tore her Achilles. I was at the field in Laval there where she tore her Achilles. And, I mean, that's a horrible injury to have. But, again, she did the rehab, and now she's back playing, being as effective as always. So the resiliency that's shown by a player like Miller, and hopefully she'll be rewarded by getting a championship here today.
And if anyone knows how to rehab an injury, that's with Constance Miller, a physiotherapist, someone who's very involved in the medical side of flag football as well. Now, Jeff on first down, back to Brisebois, tackled by Bakary Barrette nearly immediately. But here's something to keep an eye out for, Brent. That's going to be a huge one-on-one matchup. Anthony Brisebois against Bakary Barrette, and it looks like Brisebois is starting to take the upper hand. That could be game-changing.
And looking at Bakary Barrette, I remember when he first came into the league, right? His hands weren't that good. He played a lot of DB, and obviously with the size and the speed that he has, it's fine. He's rounded into being a pretty decent receiver as well. But right now, playing defensive back and going up against the best receiver in Brisebois on the opposite team is going to be interesting to see these two go back and forth throughout the game.
It's going to be a fantastic athletic matchup. This is pretty much just about man isolated on the outside. Here, second down. Touch towards Rachel Say. Touchdown, our first of the game. Jeff Touche strikes for 6.
Yeah, good job there by Shea, finding the open space right there in that lane's defense and making herself available to Rosenblatt. He found her easily for the touchdown.
So this is Shea's first season playing with Rosenblatt. I remember last year I was playing with Shea in co-ed. She, in a pivotal game, picked off Jeff and ran it back for 6, and I think in that moment he decided, I'd rather her playing with me than against me, and has recruited her for this 5v5 team. A valuable addition to the squad, a really talented player who's making it pay there with her first touchdown, putting points on the board for the Airbuds. Now a 1-point conversion attempt to the back of the end zone is caught by Brisebois, 7-0 for the Buds. What does Nice to Meet You and this Ben McMahon-led offense need to change coming into their second drive to not turn the ball over on downs?
They're going to have to take away, at least offensively right here, they're going to have to use the speed that they have. And again, first drive of the game, we didn't see Rory Submerged. Again, the best player without a shadow of a doubt on this Nice to Meet You team. He didn't even get a pass thrown in his direction. They're going to have to get him involved early here on the second offensive drive.
Submergent has been a dominant receiver. We see here the ref walkie-talking to upstairs. Small discussion between McMahon and the referee. Nothing much coming from it, it appears. First down for Nice to Meet You. McMahon, ball in his hands, scrambling to his right. Complete, there you go. Exactly the Submergent with the shifty hips dancing across. Picks up 11 yards before he's tackled by Brisebois. He's been their leading receiver all season. Great to see him get going.
And that's what you want to see right there. You get Submergent going early, like I said, in this drive right here. And if anything, listen, this is sort of him getting the ball is going to have the defense roll over to his side, and that should open things up for the rest of the offense.
He has been the number one target on this team. We're talking 66 receptions, 730 yards, 14 touchdowns. Despite there being other very talented players on the field right now, the offense runs through him, and for the Airbuds to win this game, they'll need to take Submergent away. Second down, direct snap to Submergent, throw back to McMahon. McMahon can now run. He has an unlimited time. He scrambles in front of Zilipski. The throw is back to now Submergent, who has Kwesi bearing down on him, thrown, batted down by Kwesi Gordon-Mall. They tried some trickery. They tried a double QB. I don't think that worked very well.
And of course, don't forget, right, for the 5-on-5 rules, what you can do, obviously the quarterback can't run if it's just a regular snap from the center to the quarterback, but giving that little side snap, or even if the quarterback goes on the center and someone laterals the ball back to them, then that quarterback can run. So we saw not really the running part of it there. Submergent, obviously, with the throw got batted down, but a good job right there by the Airbuds defense, sniffing out that trick play and batting the ball away.
I do like the concept, though. I rather Ben McMahon with the ability to run than Ben McMahon without the ability to run, but they'll need to execute better going forward. Third down, pass complete. Pass dropped by Abigail Perrault, thrown at the sticks and just in and out of her hands, setting up another large fourth down. We have 4th and 8 coming up. Is this Submergent time, Brent?
I think it should be, but don't forget about Nick Pierre-Marche, right? Again, he's a stud receiver, a stud athlete, right? We haven't really had to call his name yet, at least on offense right here. And he's lined up, I believe, against Emma Townsend-Ass Lane. We'll have to see if he can make a play. No, actually, rather against Brisebois.
We see Brisebois switching over. Kwesi Gordon-Mall lined up in front of Submergent. We could be looking at man-to-man coverage here coming up on 4th down, 4th and 8. McMahon takes a step to his right, comes back to his left, makes the rusher miss, completed to Submergent, who makes the Kwesi Gordon-Mall miss, makes a second defender miss, dances around, twists and turns. Finally, he's tackled, but that's a massive first down, and you can see just how explosive Submergent is after the catch.
Yeah, good job by Submergent, breaking 3 tackles right there. Touchdown saving tackle made by Brisebois on the shifty Submergent right there. And a good pitch and catch right there. You see on the replay, you thought, okay, he'll get the first down, maybe be tackled after about 8 or 9 yards. No, he made one defender, and a second defender missed right there.
2 defenders miss. And I think a great word to describe this entire Nice to Meet You team is shifty. McMahon in the backfield, shifty. First step elusiveness. Even someone like Nicolas Pierre-Mas, who's yet to have the ball in his hands, has a great jolt and first step and explosivity to him. So a huge part of defending this offense for the Airbuds is going to be limiting those yards after the catch. And even if you give up the catch, make sure you're close enough to tackle them before they can start making moves in the open field. Fresh set of downs. First down for McMahon. Completes the ball to Submergent over the outstretched arms of Zalipski and tackled at the 2-yard line by Brisebois. Submergent's now coming into his own and laying his mark on this second drive.
And this is the thing right here, obviously, for the Airbuds defense, you can't let Submergent get hot. I mean, you can make the argument he's the best player on the field right here, right? And he's able to make an impact on both sides of the ball, but obviously his specialty is as a receiver. He can run every single route in the tree, right? So if you're the Airbuds, whether you put Kwesi Gordon-Moll back on him, you play man, or maybe you even bring Brisebois to have him play on Submergent, don't let him get too hot.
And he's a player who does run hot and cold. He's a player who lives the game intensely, and when he's on, but can also get in his head when he's off. Now second down, thrown towards Submergent, diving across the goal line, touchdown, the first of the game for Nice to Meet You. Here they are within one.
That's a good play right there. Good job by Submergent, by McMahon, buying time in the pocket, waiting for Submergent to get open on that crossing route. Good accurate throw down low, only where his receiver can get it, and Submergent makes the grab for the TD.
Here we see Nice to Meet You going for a 2-point conversion attempt, looking to take the lead. This is a team that rathers go for one. They've converted 14 times for one this season, 7 for 2. In my opinion, it's an interesting decision to step away from your comfort zone, but what they're looking to do here is to take the lead. Keep an eye out for a second quarterback situation on this 2-point conversion attempt. There are none. McMahon's alone in the backfield. Zalipski's bearing down, thrown towards the back of the end zone, up and over the head of Nicolas Pierre-Mas. Did not even try going up for that one. It is 7-6. Airbuds take over with a chance to extend their lead now. How can this Nice to Meet You defense put the clamps on Anthony Brisebois? Because he was the key to that first drive.
Yeah, so coverage-wise, right, they're going to have to figure out whether they're going to keep Bakari Barrett on him or perhaps they try Nick Pierre-Mas, right? Those are the two fastest guys in the defense. A little bit surprising right now, Rory Submergent
off the field.
On the bench. Yeah, as is Ben McMahon. Again, these guys are two quality defenders, so I have to wait and see what happens here.
Two quality defenders, Ethan Adrian bearing down on Jeff Rosenblatt, who's looking deep towards Anthony Brisebois, who reels it in over his shoulder. Touchdown! Airbuds, that's 45 yards through the air, picked up by Brisebois, and just like that, they are once again in the lead by 7. As we were saying, something from this Nice to Meet You defense is going to need to change because the way that Airbuds want to score is Jeff to Brisebois, and that's exactly what's working. You need to take away his first read.
Go route, post routes, hook routes, doesn't matter right there. Brisebois has been unstoppable so far in this one. I don't know if they let the keep Barrett on him, maybe they have the safety roll down, cheat a bit on the deep end and try to take away the deep ball from Brisebois, but right now they have to figure out something.
Or potentially try changing the matchup. Before we get there, we have a 1-point conversion attempt. Kwesi Gordon-Moll running an in and out route at the sticks. The ball's in his hand, sticks like glue, and now it is a 8-point lead for Nice to Meet You. So my question, Brent, would be, you right now have Ethan Adrian rushing. Would you consider perhaps placing one of the female players as rush and then taking Adrian out and bringing someone like Submergent into the game and trying to have Submergent mirror Brisebois? Would that be a more successful strategy?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, right? I mean, obviously, maybe you put Submergent on Brisebois. They're going to have to figure out something, again, because they're getting beat deep and getting beat often by Brisebois.
And the first thing you want to do with a defense is make life complicated. If you can't get stops, make it difficult. First down now, thrown as a slant route towards Ethan Adrian. Emma Townsend Asselin was all over that one. It was telegraphed by Ben. Asselin read the mail before Ethan Adrian did, and that nearly was a costly interception. Asselin has been a fantastic defender for this team. I think their second ball hawk coming up with 2 interceptions on the season.
So I think right there, McMahon was caught between two minds right there. He's like, should I throw this? I kind of want to throw, but I'm not sure. He elects to let go of the ball. And that ball just came out too late, and Adrian couldn't make a play on it.
And Emma nearly did. I honestly think it was a better defensive play by Adrian to make sure that ball didn't wind up in her hands than offensive. Second down, Ben, ball in his hands, scrambling to his right, trying to make Zalipski rich, throwing over the middle of the field towards Goulet, and just behind her, an off-platform throw, and just wasn't quite able to connect with his receiver.
Yeah, and Goulet was wide open again, but that's just a good rush right there by Alex Zalipski, again, number 12, the rusher for the Airbuds, because again, Goulet did that nice crossing route over the middle. There was no one within about 5 yards of her, but again, McMahon being flushed to one side, throwing off of his back foot caused the ball to be incomplete.
And Zalipski doing a good job there of also getting his hands up. While he might not be the tallest rusher in FPF, he is actually taller than Ben McMahon, the quarterback of Nice to Meet You. And by getting your hands up, as simple and as easy as it may be, you're taking a throwing lane away and you're forcing the quarterback to throw around you. No gain on first, no gain on second. Third down now coming up. McMahon trying to evade the rusher again. He has Adrian available down the sideline who makes the catch, tries to make Asselin miss. And we have a flag on the play, holding on the defense. First down for Nice to Meet You.
Yeah, so good catch there by Adrian. Again, holding as well. So that's going to be added on to the end of that catch. Let's see who the holding is against.
I believe
here.
it's on Emma Townsend. So as Adrian's going to catch us, come up field, there's going to be a fistful
you're
of
right.
jersey.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for right hand. Yeah, you're right. Good call.
It was tough to see. I actually didn't see it from the roof. She was the only defender around. But since we have so many officials in these final games, we have an official on the sideline who is able to see what happened between Adrian and the sideline. Holding is the call. First down is the result. That's a very lucky play for, lucky and deserved, who are in a situation because of being in a third and long. We now have a discussion with the official, who now whistles in the play. First down, direct stack to Submergent. Submergent looking deep, taking his time, counting. He needs to throw this ball. Time's expiring. Throws it up to Goulet. Incomplete. That was a really interesting decision by the Airbuds defense. Knowing that McMahon is a significantly more dangerous quarterback, they decided to say, Submergent, try. Beat us. Throw it if you dare.
And I'll tell you why that play worked so successfully for the defense is because Zalipski, so we saw McMahon obviously throw the ball to the second quarterback in Submergent. What Zalipski did is he stayed with Ben. You have to imagine, ideally, Ben doesn't have anyone covering him. He could run a go route. He could run a hook. Anything. He could run to the flats. And the fact that Zalipski, the rusher, stayed with McMahon, that eliminated one receiving option. And I think, in my opinion, the main receiving option on that play.
And it didn't leave Submergent the option to run either, right? Naturally, he's more elusive in the open field, but without the ability to cross the line of scrimmage, he was very much handicapped on that play. We have more discussions going on here between the on-field official and the booth. Curious exactly what these outcomes are. It feels more technical than a challenge. Unless there's a challenge on the play, I don't believe there is.
Yeah, the officials for the game today, Brent Young, the main ref. We have Leo Gervais on the right sideline, Bruce Hogan on the left.
And now a second down coming up for Nice to Meet You again. Direct snap to Submergent. Submergent now throws it back to McMahon. McMahon dancing around and defended by Zalipski. Hands in the passing lane, pay fruit. That ball falls to the turf inoffensively.
So I think one of the problems, I haven't seen all the games played this season by Nice to Meet You, but I think the problem right now is just the timing of it. We saw right there with that throw, obviously batted down from Ben, batted down by Zalipski. He motioned right away to Adrian as soon as the pass fell to the dirt. You need to the turf. Pardon me. You need to be somewhere else. You need to go wide a bit. I don't think these are plays that they run too often,
especially when time is no longer a factor. Ben can then scramble around for an eternity, tire out the rusher, open up passing lanes. We now have a third down coming up just from the other side of midfield. Dancing, looking deep towards Adrian, who's behind the defender. Outstretched arms. That ball just looked like it was thrown a few yards out of bounds. Missed opportunity or good coverage from Kwesi?
Yeah, so it's a missed opportunity because if you're McMahon right there, I understand why he threw the ball the way he did, but you want to get that more on a rope, right? Too much air under that ball caused it to go out of bounds. If you throw that more on a line, you can get that to Adrian, again, who was wide open on that corner route.
And McMahon, a big part of his progression as a quarterback is he now has fantastic zip on that ball. He can really fit it into a tight window. He can throw his hips around with it and place that ball on a dime. He has the ability to do it, made the choice not to. And we've now set up a fourth and very, very long. So we see here we have Emma Townsend and Anthony Brisebois lining up on the goal line. Two defenders lining up in the shorts, Zalipski and Constance Miller in case of a second quarterback option. My question here is it worth dropping Submergent as a second quarterback when he's your main deep threat option? They make the choice too. Time is ticking down. Submergent needs to throw this ball. His time's just about out. I'm surprised that was not whistled before it was. We now have McMahon running, throwing, intercepted by Anthony Brisebois, who's now running the other direction. He's crossed midfield. He's down the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, pick 6.
Yeah, it's going to call flag guard right there on Brisebois. Ben was signaling that right away. And it's also, the jump, by Brisebois, actually.
So, interesting question, Brent. I think we can both confidently say that Submergent held onto the ball for more than 7 seconds, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it worth challenging the fact that that should have been an incomplete pass? No, it's not, because of what we talked about earlier, because even after the 7 seconds, you can still throw an interception.
Yeah.
I corrected myself. I'm sorry. We had this discussion earlier. I went, by the way, interesting.
I'm sure right now, nice to meet you. Would love for them to challenge that. They would love for the Airbuds to challenge that play.
But because, no, it was the discussion we had earlier. What I just learned today was that's when you surpass the 7-second clock, it's treated like an illegal forward pass where you let the play out. Anyways. I should have known that one from talking about it earlier, but sometimes in the heat of the action, you forget.
We've called a lot of games over the last 2 days.
Exactly. Interesting situation here. Up 8 points, looking to take a 2-score lead. Jeff slowly coming into the huddle. 56.6 seconds left. Are you looking to score immediately, or do you rather burn a bit of time before you score?
I burn at least one play here just to have the clock run a little bit. I mean, I understand some teams might want to burn a play or two, maybe even 3. I don't know about that. I burn at least one right here. Again,
and I think that's what they're going to try and do. Yep. Pass complete to Kwesi, who's dancing, who's skipping, but ultimately looking to avoid the end zone, not go into it. Time should now be running as Jeff signals to the sideline. Time is indeed running, and they're trying to burn some of that clock. Would you call a timeout here as the Nice to Meet You
No,
defense?
if I'm Nice to Meet You, you got to save those timeouts. Right now, again, right, it's a one-possession game. Worry about your defense. Try to get a stop right here, right? Don't worry about the time. Just try to get a stop here.
And timeouts in these finals are so pivotal. You need a timeout for an onside kick. You need a timeout to challenge. Using a timeout as a timeout is barely worth it. Now here we have completion towards Anthony Brisebois. An easy touchdown. And here you see Bakary Barrett, arms outstretched, asking for a call. There was none. The 6 points are good. It's a 20-6 lead with 26 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, let's see what happened on this route right here by Brisebois. I mean, that throw was just too easy.
Barrett was very much calling for the OPI. We unfortunately from this angle don't see the point of release from Brisebois, so it's very difficult to tell. And I don't think this is worth a challenge at this stage of the game.
So the lead now extended to 20-6 now, 21 to 6 in favor of
favor of the Airbuds. And now the Airbuds going for one, looking to put the screws to Nice to Meet You, thrown towards the back of the end zone and simply above the head of Rachel Shea. 25.8 seconds left. How do you attack a drive with this amount of time on the clock?
Well, right now, if you're Nice to Meet You, if you're Ben McMahon, you got to cut the field in half, right? You have to get a pass towards the middle of the field. Obviously, to pick up the first down, but also, again, to cut the field in half. I mean, listen, if there's something open deep, you take a second, you try and look, but if not, towards the end zone. If not, again, try to pick up about 12 to 15 yards so you can get close to midfield.
And, of course, crossing midfield, that first down will also stop the clock, which is huge. If you don't stop the clock here, you have perhaps 3 plays. Stopping the clock will maybe give you a 4th. So, 25.9 seconds on the clock. Ben McMahon standing a yard into his end zone, 6 yards behind his snapper, catches the ball, throws towards the sideline towards Nicolas Pierre-Mas, who is tackled in bounds. That is a massive mistake there. Time continues to run.
See, if you're McMahon here, you should have called 2 plays in the huddle.
Yes.
I mean, too much time is coming off the clock right here.
You should have called 2 plays in the huddle, and additionally, you'd expect a receiver with the pedigree of Mas to lay a foot out of bounds in those scenarios. Time has now continued to run, leaving one untimed play.
So I wonder if they called a timeout here. So Ben McMahon, again, talking to the officials right here, Brett Young and Leo Gervais on the sideline. Maybe he called the timeout, he didn't get it?
Intriguing to see. There's clearly a discussion. If they called a timeout, you'd hope they called the timeout of more than 1.7 seconds on the clock. Otherwise, that would be a wasted timeout. These teams have more experience than to make a mistake like that. If there is either 0 or 1.7 seconds on the clock, what's going to happen will be a final untimed play. The timing rules in Pro Clock are very much like the CFL, whereas as long as there's time on the clock when the final play is whistled dead, there will be a play after that. You don't need to get the snap off before time expires. Here we see the officials putting 12 seconds back on the clock. I can conclude thereby we had a timeout called by McMahon.
Exactly. So now, right, if you're Ben McMahon, obviously you have at least 2 plays left, right, with 12 seconds remaining. But of course, you can pick up the first down and still stop the clock, right, once you pass midfield. So I expect them obviously to have something maybe in the 10 to 12 yard range right here if they can't make the end zone.
If you can cross midfield, you can maybe stretch this to 3 plays if you're very wise about it. 2 receivers to McMahon's left. He's scrabbling towards his right. He's throwing towards Submerger. The catch is made. He's dancing. Tackled by Emma Townsend with 7 seconds on the clock. Now they're hurrying up because time will start.
As soon as the markers are placed.
Exactly. Once you hear this whistle, time has started. Ball is snapped. Ben is scrambling. He's taking time. He doesn't have time. He's thrown the ball at the feet of Rory Submergent. 0.5 seconds on the clock. There will be a final play in this half. Now, Brent, would you rather drop Submergent as a second QB or throw a jump ball to him?
It's not working. That play is not working. They need to scrap that play. They've run it about 4 or 5 times during the first half. It's simply not working. Submergent's your best receiver. Have him do what he does best, get into the end zone.
Nicolas Pierre-Mas can also throw a football.
Yep.
Perhaps not the most advanced read that McMahon can throw a Division I quarterback, but he can throw a nice tight spiral. Submergent's your most dangerous receiver. He has a height advantage. I'd love to see him get into the end zone. Let's see what they're dialing up here. No second quarterback. McMahon scrambling towards his right, throws the ball up, looking towards Submergent. It is one-handed by Brisebois. Incomplete, inconsequential. Here comes the half with a 14-point spread.
And again, this half couldn't have gone any worse, I don't think, for Nice to Meet You. Again, they have a powerful team. They have a strong team. Oh, and to kick it down, I know we're going to have a sideline interview. Is going to be coming up with Chloe Corbet. And it looks like she has, I believe that's Emma Townsend Asselin. Chloe, down to you.
Alors, je me trouve présentement avec Emma Townsend Asselin. Elle, c'est la capitaine des Airbuds. Vous avez une bonne saison, 6 victoires, 4 défaites. Est-ce que tu trouves que vous jouez en ce moment à la hauteur de la performance que vous pensiez que vous pouviez faire?
Honnêtement, oui, on a commencé un petit peu plus stressé, je vais dire. On était un peu, there was a bit tense on the field. Puis on a, quickly, I'm just going to answer in English, correct? We quickly went back into like our usual routine, our usual defensive calls, our communication, offensive connection. We had the first turnover and a little bit worried at first, but I think we're back into our regular season groove.
What will be the strategy for the other half?
The other half, I think, to just stay focused, not get into like the shit talking on the field. Stay focused on our game, not get in our heads, and just call what works. Like we don't need to change up anything and try anything fancy, just safe and simple.
The last time you played against this team, it was a little bit serré. What makes the difference right now that it's 26 right now?
Honestly, the game was pretty early in the season. I don't remember if we had a different rusher, if we were missing someone. Like, I couldn't tell you. I think today we just really, really want to win. So it's different, like, just when you're in the finals compared to regular season, different mindset. You're more stressed. You want the win more than in regular season. I think je pense que c'est vraiment ça.
Parfait, merci Emma. Retour à vous.
And we are back now. The second half starting in a few moments. The players should be taking the field shortly. Brent, this Nice to Meet You offense, unfortunately, is just not achieving the results they desire. Their offenses look stagnant. Their second QB plays have lacked creativity. An adjustment needs to be made going into the second half. What is that adjustment?
They're going to have to try to figure something out offensively because, again, right, 6 points. This is not the first half, at least, that we expect, right, out of this team. Again, we talked about a lot of the studs, a lot of the impact players on his team, and really no one's getting it done. Again, Ben McMahon, he's a smart quarterback. He's a veteran in this league. He's a champion as well, right? So I assume he's going to be able to come out and do something a little differently here on offense, but we're going to have to wait and see. Let's see how this drive goes. This drive is the most important one of the game for this team.
Pivotal. First down coming up, thrown towards Pierre-Mas on the sideline, who tries to evade a tackle, steps out of bounds just short of midfield. That is the perfect place to be tackled. You now set up a 2nd and 1, and you can take a shot or two towards the end zone before having an easier completion across midfield.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And again, Pierre-Mas, Nick Pierre-Mas, we talked about it, right? He's an impact player. And getting the ball in his hands early and often here in the second half is going to be huge because then you want to get some momentum. You need to do something. You can't just turn over the ball on downs and put your defense back on the field.
A player perhaps we could see more from in the second half was not very involved in the first. 2nd and 1. McMahon surveys an easy pass across the middle of the field. That's towards his snapper, Abiel Perrault. Could they have been more aggressive there and look to take a shot on 2nd down?
Yeah, I mean, if it's 2nd and 1, why not, right? I mean, it's not going to hurt you to take that shot to the end zone. We see a lot of teams do it. We see it in other versions of 5v5. We see it in Division 1 as well, right? Take those shots, and then, if you don't get it on 2nd down, then 3rd down, you can pick up the first, or obviously on 4th, pick up the 1st down.
Especially giving a second QB to Ben who can run it for a first, if not the first person to touch the ball. Pass there looking towards Goulet. Brisebois flashing in front of it, ultimately incomplete. Setting up now a 2nd and long, needing 24 yards for a touchdown.
And that's a good rush there by Zalewski, causing McMahon to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. But I'll tell you what, it's good that he got rid of the ball quick there because you talked about Brisebois flashing in front of Goulet, who's a receiver. At the ball's a second later, that could have been a pick for Brisebois.
A pick with room to run it back like we saw him do in the first half. This has very much been an Anthony Brisebois game so far on both sides of the ball. That being said, not too late for Nice to Meet You to lay their stamp. Second down, McMahon to his left, coming back towards his right, throws over the middle of the field, looking for Submergent. The catch is made and tackle is made immediately by Townsend, which is exactly what I want to do with a shifty receiver like Submergent. Even if you're giving up a short catch, make sure you minimize the yards after.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's it. We've seen it through the games called today and the games called yesterday, right? Yak yards, that means yards after the catch, right? You got to limit that if you're the defense. And again, a great tackle by one of the best tacklers in this league, female or male, and Townsend Asselin.
An important part of this defense as well. Now, third down, complete the Submergent tackle made there by Constance Miller. Townsend waiting to pick it up in case it was not made. Setting up now a 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. A pivotal 4th and goal, a must-have for Nice to Meet You. What is your go-to in this scenario?
I mean, so we saw before on the touchdown by Submerge, right? He ran underneath that drag row, right? I mean, I think you roll that again, but then you maybe have your center in number 12 there in Perrault, maybe do an out to the left.
And out to the right from Perrault, Submergent going towards the left sideline. McMahon dancing backwards. Throw is incomplete. He was looking towards Perrault. You're right, Brent. But ultimately well defended by Miller. Turnover on downs. They could not punch it in.
Yeah, so again, a big defensive stand right there. Once again for this Airbuds team. And giving the ball back to their offense. They have control of this game right now. Again, up by a score of 20-6. If they can make it 26-6, it might be game over early in the second half for Nice to Meet You.
Very early. A 20-point differential is something that's extraordinarily difficult to overcome. We are still at 14, which is, quote-unquote, one possession with factoring in the onside kick. And interestingly, no defensive modifications. You still have Adrian rushing and Barrette lined up on Brisebois. First down for the Airbuds. Rosenblatt looking towards his snapper, Rachel Shea. Not his snapper, his receiver, Rachel Shea. Most times she snaps, hence the confusion. In and out of her hands. Second down.
So a rare mistake right there by the Airbuds offense. So facing second and long now. So if you're Nice to Meet You, right? I mean, you saw what they did on first down. Now you got to make some adjustments here. I mean, obviously with the rush, but again, sending Ethan Adrian in there, it's not going to matter again because like you talked about earlier, right? Alexi Rosenblatt is getting rid of the ball quick, but since you know he's getting rid of the ball quick, have Barrett stay the man on the outside, have him play deep, have everybody else shoot down.
Exactly. And Adrian, not either the tallest rusher, she's not necessarily getting in passing lanes. And there you go, Brisebois have room to play on the sidelines, scampering down for a gain of 10 yards before the tackle is made by Barrette.
Yeah, it's a good play right there by Jeff. Good route by Brisebois. He sold the deep route. Caused Barrett to kind of have to open his hips and turn around, and it ended up just being a hook by Brisebois, picking up a lot of yards right there, setting up a more manageable third down now, 3rd and short near midfield.
I think the difference so far is that the simple plays for the Airbuds have been working. Their hooks, their slants have been there, and on top of it, their deep shot has worked when needed. And for Nice to Meet You, their simple stuff hasn't been there, so they've had to try to get complicated, try to get fancy, and those high-risk, high-reward plays have been turning into risks instead of rewards. Third down now. Looking again towards Brisebois. Third, thrown towards Rachel Shea. Tackle made by Barrett. First down gain, and this time Shea atones for her earlier drop. Safe-handed, reels it in for the gain.
And you can see the frustration on the body language right there by the rusher, Ethan Adrian. He got there at Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt actually had to double pump the ball for a second, ended up throwing off of his back foot. But again, the defense behind him just letting things open underneath, letting these crossers, these quick hitters become open. So again, like I said, if you're the Nice to Meet You defense, you have to cheat down a bit. You have to try to jump some routes.
Completely agreed. And for a rusher like Adrian, it's so frustrating. You'll have maybe 1 or 2 chances to get a sack on Rosenblatt, and you have to make those count. Looking deep to heavy contact Barrette on Rachel Shea. Thankfully, she pops up. This looks like an illegal contact at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, so hard collision right there. Shea able to pop back up. Barrett's not sure why there's a penalty, but again, I know it's football, but again, it's non-contact right in FPF. And receiver, he tried to make a play on the ball, but so the receiver going down to the turf hard right there, you kind of argue with the flag.
You cannot argue with the flag. That being said, it was called as pass interference. From my understanding of the rules, you can't call pass interference after the ball is touched. Is it a flag? Without a shadow of a doubt, But in my opinion, this is far closer to an illegal contact penalty, which is a 10-yard gain automatic first, which is what was called.
Yeah, exactly. So first and goal now from the 1 yard line for the Airbuds. I mean, listen, they're in control of this game, and they have a chance now to add on to their lead.
They have a chance to extend this to a 20-point lead. With the way this game has been going, a 20-point lead, the defense which has been struggling from Nice to Meet You, and an offense which has not quite gotten going, 20 points is a mountain which is extraordinarily difficult to climb. And to make things even harder, it is first and goal from the 1 yard line. 4 attempts to put the screws to this Nice to Meet You defense. The first one of those attempts is coming up right now. Rosenblatt looks towards his left, throws towards the back of the end zone, towards Constance Miller, who stepped on the out-of-bounds line. A good call there from the officials. Incomplete. Her foot came down on the blue, not the green.
Yeah, Bruce Hogan patrolling the back line there. Good call by him. You're right. Her right foot, she did make the catch, but her right foot was on that blue line.
Again, you need 1 foot inbounds, not 2, but that foot inbounds, the first one coming down, needs to be in the field of play. The foot there came down just barely on the blue. Any part of your foot touching the out-of-bounds line makes that pass incomplete, which is what we saw. The good news for the Airbuds is that they have 3 more tries from the 1 yard line, and from their demeanor, they do not look overly worried. We have Shea snapping here, Miller to her left, Brisebois flexed all the way out to the left, Kwesi standing on his own, throw towards the back of the end zone, tiptoeing on the goal line is Rachel Shea for 6.
Easy pitch and catch right there by Rosenblatt. He took a step or two to his right, waited for Shea to get to the back of the end zone, and that's kind of been the bread and butter right now near the goal line for this offense for the Airbuds, hitting plays in the back of the end zone. Shea was wide open once again.
They're making it look easy. It's exactly what we said earlier. When your go-to plays and your bread and butter work, everything looks very smooth coming off it, because then you can take a chance maybe on second down. And for the Airbuds, their go-to plays are working perfectly. Another here, we saw a fly from the snapper. Shea cleared out a hole right underneath her. Miller ran a drag into that gap created. An easy 1-point conversion attempt to stretch the lead now to 21. That is a lot of points, Brent.
And I know right now you guys can't see it at home, but right now it looks like the Airbuds are just choking the life out of Nice to Meet You. I saw some of the players who were subbing off on defense, from defense. Now as the team goes back on offense, there's this Nick Pierre-Mas, there's Bakari Barrett, Alyssa Goulet, just
hands on hips.
Yeah,
Every single one of the Nice to Meet You defenders standing on the sidelines came off and had their hands on the hips, looking, what can we do? Let's see what they can do on first down. And it is a pass towards Abigail Perrault with a nice, modest gain. This is what they need to get back to. Yes, time's ticking away, but start off by doing what you do best, and from there, build on it.
So again, gain there about 4 or 5 yards there on first down. Now again, take the chunk yards. Take what you can get right now. Again, you're down 27-6, right? So I mean, you can't make up all those points on one play, right? But you got to have a couple of plays and a couple positive plays now go your way.
And that's a first one now. Second down for Nice to Meet You. McMahon looking back towards Perrault. Tackle missed by Emma Asselin, made by Anthony Brisebois. First down gained. It's not much, but it's a start here for Nice to Meet You.
And there you go. A big gain right there by Perrault. Good hustle by her. They're breaking one tackle from Townsend Asselin and getting the ball past midfield. So fresh set of downs here for this Airbuds offense. But now can they capitalize? We saw it the last time they had the ball on the positive side of the field. They weren't able to capitalize.
The recipe to a win here for Nice to Meet You is a score, is a convert, is a stop, is a score, and an onside kick. The first part of that is a score, which is what they're looking for now. Pass towards Submergent, who's dancing with those salsa-like hips. A gain of 4 yards before he falls to the turf.
Yeah, good slant there by Submergent, surviving the contact too. Able to at least make one tackler miss right there. But again, small gain right here. So if you're Nice to Meet You as well, you have to be, if you're Nice to Meet You, you got to be quick in the huddle here. Right? Time is of the essence.
Which it seems like they're trying to do, but Submergent walking slowly out to the line of scrimmage. Second down, McMahon looking towards Submergent, pumping, throwing deep, alone, touchdown, Ethan Adrian. They're coming back. Interesting decision upcoming here. Is it time for a convert or is it time for an onside kick?
So interesting right now, discussion going on between Submergent and McMahon with Brent Young here at midfield. It looks like they're going to elect to go for the convert here. I'd be going for 2. So we saw right there, blowing coverage right there. So Kwesi Gordamal had the short. Constance Miller had a deep row. She was just slowly getting over the top. Getting an easy touchdown right there to Ethan Adrian.
They're finally starting to make it look easy, which is a great sign for this Nice to Meet You offense. That being said, my issue here is going for 2. Right now it's a 15-point spread. 15 points is 2 possessions because an onside kick doesn't work. So I'd rather make this a 14-point spread with the mentality then of getting the ball back, scoring, onside, scoring, 2-point convert. That being said, let's see if the decision pays off, and it does. A tip ball does not matter. Abigail Perrault hauls it in. The risky decision paid off. The spread is now 13. What the doctor is calling for is a stop from the Nice to Meet You defense.
Yeah, Crazy Gordon Mall did his best to bat down that ball. He got his fingers on it, tipped it into the air, but a great catch right there. Good concentration shown as well by Perrault to make that grab in the back of the end zone. So the lead, it's only 2 touchdowns right now in favor of the Airbuds.
Looked very calm. For such a huge catch, to turn this into now a 1 possession with the onside kick game, no stress, reeled it in for a huge play. Now we've seen a modification. We have Nicolas Pierre-Mas lining up in front of Brisebois. Let's see if this makes any difference. Brisebois running a post route in front of Pierre-Mas. The ball is overthrown. Good coverage or a bad throw?
That was a bad throw. The coverage wasn't that great. I mean, listen, Brisebois was open by about 3 or 4 steps right there. If Rosenblatt has a better throw, that's another touchdown.
Interesting to see them making changes, though. At this point in the game, you can't keep running the same.
You have to try something. You have to try something.
You can't keep running out the same defense, trying the same plays, and expecting a different result. So I do appreciate the initiative there of seeing a change in coverage, and also just seeing the humility from a team to going, this is not working for me, turning to your buddy and saying, you give it a shot, I need you to step up, and let's see if Nicolas Pierre-Mas can step up and can lay the clamps to Anthony Brisebois, an extraordinarily difficult challenge. He has a second attempt to do it here on second down. Rosenblatt looking back towards Brisebois, who's open down the sideline, who's dancing around before getting tackled there again by Perrault.
So it's interesting now with that switch, right? We see, again, Nick Pierre-Mas covering Brisebois. What happens on the opposite side? Barrett now number 4. The corner goes over now on the opposite side covering Kwesi Gordon Mall, right? So a different type of receiver.
Very different.
Yeah. Same speed. Both have the same speed, obviously. Gordon Mall a little shorter in terms of height than Brisebois.
Brisebois really got it all. He's got the size, he's got the hands, he's got the speed. And now we see here shifting back across is Barrett Nicolas Pierre-Mas lining in front of Kwesi Gordon Mall. Is this a man-to-man coverage? No, it's not, because Gordon Mall is left wide alone on the sidelines. He dances and shakes Goulet, but cannot shake Barrett. Tackle made, but not before a 6-yard gain.
That's a good job there by Gordon Mall. Able to shake the tackle attempt by Alois Lefebvre right there, picking up some yards after the catch. Ball down at about the 13-yard line right now. So again, started off a little shaky maybe the first couple of plays, but now Rosenblatt appears to be finding his rhythm right now towards the tail end of the drive. Let's see if they can punch it into the end zone and pretty much put the clamps and put this game on ice.
Getting very close at that stage of the game, but they do need to score here. Third down, slant towards Brisebois. That looked like a flag guard, but he evades a tackle. He's reaching, he's diving, he's at the 1-yard line. Did you see a flag guard on that play?
So it kind of looked like one, but I could tell from the angle what he's doing is the ball is in his hands, right? So you're going to see here on the replay. Watch what he does here. So we see the quick slant right here. So he's opening his hips to his left. And what he's doing with the ball, it is kind of a flag guard. He has the ball in his left hand, and he's kind of putting his arm backwards, which kind of ends up serving as a flag guard, but not really.
Call it a swim move. Interpret it how you want. It's a swim move. The ball came down, the hand went out. The result of the play is third down at the 1-yard line. I'd look here again for a double move from Brisebois. He turns around, throws towards the front of the end zone, in and out of the hands of Emma Townsend Asselin, setting up a huge 4th down. This is the play that Nice to Meet You need. Nice to Meet You need to meet a stop right now.
And this is the game right here, I'll be honest with you. I mean, yes, there's about 4.5 minutes remaining in the contest, but if you're Nice to Meet You, you can get a stop here and get the ball back and score a touchdown. Like you talked about, obviously they're going to have to go for the onside play. So if you know what? Actually, before I don't want to get ahead of myself. If they can get a stop here and score a quick touchdown, you might want to give the ball back to the Airbuds and see what
this is a momentum-defining play. Let's see what they come up with. Potentially man-to-man coverage. Yes, that's what we have. Looking towards Brisebois, and that is intercepted by Nicolas Pierre-Mas. There is a flag on the field.
Oh, wow.
We have a flag down on the field here, thrown by Bruce Hogan. We are awaiting the call with great impatience. Kwesi Gordon Mall has his hands up in the air. Is he requesting a flag, questioning the call? We're not sure. All I know is that time is ticking away. 31, 30, less and less time in this game.
Oh, wow. They're calling contact.
I don't know what the contact was. I don't care what the contact was. I challenge this call right now. Challenge it. What do you have to lose? You have one timeout left to use for your Oh, no. They only have one timeout left. Brent, do you risk it all here to challenge, knowing that if your challenge is correct, you get the ball back and maintain your timeout? Or do you let the touchdown stand and keep that one timeout in your pocket to go onside? Huge call upcoming.
I keep that timeout. You're going to have to keep the timeout now at this point of the game, right? If it's a little bit earlier, if you had about 5 or 6 more minutes left on the clock, added on to the 2:50 and counting this remaining, you would say, okay, I throw the challenge. But again, you have to keep that time in your back pocket to do the onside play. Again, nice pick there by Pierre Mas. And yeah, let's say they're challenging the play as Leo Gervais, Jack Mooney rather, making his way up to the booth.
So we are going to have ultimately the fate of this game sealed by the officials, which is a frustrating situation to be in by a player. But what's going to happen here is if this challenge is successful, they will maintain their timeout, they will have the ball, and they'll have the opportunity to score a touchdown, successfully throw an onside kick attempt, score another touchdown, and then go for a 1-point convert to tie or 2-point convert to win. If this challenge is unsuccessful, it will be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for Airbuds, with, I would estimate, a 95% probability of scoring and no possibility of attempting an onside kick because they will have no timeouts left.
So again, hopefully we're obviously going to see the replay here. I'm interested to see what the call was. Obviously, it's on our side, the left side of the field here. Interesting to see because, again, we have the play that ended up happening was an INT by Nick Pierre Mas.
There was a slight contact between Bakary Barrett and Kwesi Gordon-Mall as he was running a drag over the middle of the field. The question is, was that contact sufficient to merit the flag? There you see it. Is that a hand from Barrett on the hip of Mall? It's very close. We do see, though, immediately Mall's hands go up.
But his hands go up. I think he's frustrated that he didn't get the pass thrown to him, right?
That's not how I saw it.
That pass went a little wide. I think he's frustrated with that because you know for sure if you thought there was a PI, you'd be hearing from it. And I think this is what I wanted to see. So I'm glad to have this angle here because we have Lefebvre on Townsend Aslay, and that's where, okay, so Bruce Hogan, he's not looking at those two receivers.
I don't think that is a flag, personally. I saw more contact on behalf of Emma than on behalf of the defender.
So here's a good shot right here.
We have Leo Gervais giving explanations right now to Ben McMahon. We are not sure yet if a call has been made. We're awaiting the verdict. Impatiently awaiting the verdict, I would say. The suspense.
So again, even if it's a slight hold there on Barrett, the ball's not going to Kwesi Gordon-Mall, right?
But the ball doesn't need to be going to him if it's contact.
No, 100%. But in such a tight game like this, I don't know if that's a call you make.
I think we do have a call which has been made. We're about to have a walkie-talkie.
That's it. So the call is overturned.
From everything I saw, I believe that's the correct call.
No, 100%. It's a correct call. Again, this is football, right? It's not soccer. You're going to have a little bit of contact. And again, it's not like it's not like Barrett impeded Kwesi Gordon-Mall from getting the ball. And again, the ball wasn't even thrown to him.
I didn't see any contact which raised itself to the level of deserving a flag. And you don't want to add context to which a flag is thrown because a flag is a flag in the first game of the Division 6 season and the last play of the 5v5 competitive season. But factoring in everything on that play, nothing merited a game-ending foul. We now have a chance for an onside kick attempt. 1st down, 4, nice to meet you. Pass is complete towards Abigail Perrault, and now you see some pace being injected into this offense.
We can't get ahead of ourselves right now. They have to get the touchdown first, right? Again, down 27-14. Again, smart play by McMahon here. Quick in the huddle. You can't waste too much time.
And that's exactly what he's done. 2nd down, shifting towards his right. Dancing, thrown towards Submergent. Good for a 1st down. Smart of him there to backpedal out of bounds. The clock will only stop now on the snap. So no more rush, no more hurry. They can now take their time. And Brent, as you alluded to in the first half, call 2 plays in this huddle. First play is A, second play is B. So if ever time continues to run, straight back to the line. Let's see if that's what they've done. We are now in the pro clock. McMahon on 1st down, throwing towards Submerging,
Yeah, good tackle there by Brisebois, keeping
but
them.
called out of
Yep.
bounds.
I mean,
think he
Brisebois
was
made that tackle. Brisebois
I agree
made
with you.
that
I
tackle.
agree with you.
It's clearly in bounds, but hey, it's all right.
And the frustrating part is, in theory, you could challenge that. But what do you gain by
Yeah.
challenging it? The entire other team then lines up on the sideline. This is why FPF needs to add a 10-second runoff a la NFL. That's my call. Because that play would merit a 10-second runoff. Time is now in. Time is ticking on the Nice to Meet You season. McMahon surveys to his left, throws towards Nicolas Pierre-Mas, and a fantastic defensive play. Swatting that ball away is Kwesi Gordon-Moore, and Pierre-Mas is coming away holding his shoulder.
Yeah, definitely some contact made right there. Clean contact, but still contact nonetheless.
Worth a challenge?
Nah, at this point, no. You have to save it, right? You got to save that timeout.
Very much so. I forgot that aspect of it. Forgot again. It's getting late here, guys. So now I do believe we're waiting for Brent Young to put up some fingers in the air. Were those 3 fingers you saw go up? Third down, up and coming, scrimmaging from exactly the 10-yard line. 2 tries for a 2-point conversion attempt. Time is running. McMahon throws towards the back of the end zone. No one is home. A massive 4th down upcoming.
So it looked like the receiver, Nick Pierre-Mas, he was zigging and McMahon was zagging right there on that throw because, I mean, there was no one in the vicinity of that one right there. I was going to say, though, before that snap, if I'm McMahon, you want to hit something in the middle. I know Emmett Townsend, I was saying, is kind of crashing down right directly in the middle of the field. But if you want to hit something maybe towards the left-hand side, right over the middle, you could catch something right there.
It is now time to call your best play. It is time to look at your biggest playmakers, your brightest stars. And those 2 stars for Nice to Meet You all season have been Rory Submergin and Alissa Goulet. Goulet has yet to lay her stamp on this game. She's isolated on the right side of your screen against Emma Townsend. Is this her time to shine? McMahon surveys the field, throws towards the back of the end zone, and once again, no one is home, but he was looking towards Goulet.
And I'll tell you why that play didn't work. You had 2 receivers. You had Perrault and Goulet pretty much running around in the same area, right? And they kind of just erase each other out of that play. If you're Perrault, you got to run that out a little bit more shallow. A little bit more shallow. And if you're Goulet, either you run a hook at the first pylon or you take that ball all the way on a deep route to the corner and you let the quarterback hit you there. But again, 2 receivers kind of taking themselves out of the play. Doesn't work out well. Recipe for disaster right there offensively for
And
Nice to Meet You.
It just looked like McMahon was stuck between 2 minds.
Yeah.
He had a hook at the back and a hook at the front, and instead threw a hook to the middle of the end zone, and the only person home was once again Anthony Brisebois, who here catches the ball on 1st down, who ducks and who evades, and who wisely stays in bounds. Time continues to run, and this must be a frustrating feeling for Nice to Meet You as you see time tick away on your championship aspirations.
Definitely, right? I mean, listen, they made too many mistakes in this game. Too many mistakes in key moments, right? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. They waited too long to make their shifts. They finally did it late in the second half here, but too little too late, right? Again, even defensively, right? They gave up big play after big play after big play. And again, it's not a bunch of rookies. It's not a first-year or second-year team. These are all veterans. They should be able to make adjustments as early in the game as the game goes on.
As simple as Nicolas Pierre-Mas not stepping out of bounds earlier, right? Had he stepped out of bounds, they would have saved the timeout and had a plethora more of options available at the moment. This is the kind of game where you will go back, you'll look at the outcome. We have timeout here called on the field. That being said, that is their last timeout. An onside kick is no longer possible. We are looking towards a championship for Airbuds. How impressive is it for a team like Airbuds with, yes, some big players, but in a division with the likes of the Braves, of Flagmod Kwa, a team led by Sarah Parker. We are talking here not about good players. We're talking about future Olympians. And to see this team, not sure any future Olympians on this team, perhaps, emerge as the champions of this division is extraordinarily impressive.
Oh, definitely. I mean, listen, and like I said at the beginning, right? Look at the regular season records again. 2-8 was the record for Nice to Meet You. They're in the finals, right? And 6-4. 6-4 is not. I mean, it's not a losing record, but it's nothing to write home about, right? If you're Airbuds, but again, it doesn't matter who you line up against. It's about beating them on the field. And Olympians and non-Olympians and elite players, non-elite players, you have to beat whoever's across from you. And both teams have done this so far to get to the finals. And right now, Airbuds are doing that once more. And there we go. Airbuds are your champs.
Airbuds are your 5v5, the inaugural 5v5 champions in convincing fashion. They led this game from start to finish, and it never really looked in doubt. They scored early. They got stops early. Their stuff was working. The stuff that Nice to Meet You likes to run, unfortunately, was not, and that was that.
Yeah, great performance on both sides of the ball, right? By the Airbuds, they smothered Nice to Meet You offensively with their stellar defense, and for the Airbuds, when they needed to make a play on offense, they got the play done, and that's all you can ask for right there.
And an underrated hero for this Airbuds team, I think, was the rushing of Alex Zalewski.
Yeah.
You have an elusive quarterback like Ben McMahon who wants to use those full 7 seconds at his disposal, and really, that wasn't an option. The only way he could gain time was by backpedaling, was by going backwards. If he tried to step up in the pocket, make a move left or right, Zalewski was on him, and really a lot of the creativity which we're used to seeing from this Nice to Meet You team was stifled by the strong rushing of Alex Zalewski, who's rised up the ranks of FPF.
Oh, definitely one of the top players, period, in FPF, quarterback, and obviously today as a rusher, right? And not only was his rush effective in terms of stymieing Ben, but also look when they had a double quarterback, right, with Rory Submergent, same thing. The offense for Nice to Meet You just could not get anything done. They couldn't find that chemistry. They couldn't find that timing. I know we have Anthony Brisebois is going to be taking a post-game interview with Chloe Corbet. Again, congrats to Anthony Brisebois getting his first championship finally here in FPF. Chloe, over to you.
Avec l'équipe championne de la première édition de la catégorie 5v5 mixte, Airbuds, on va leur remettre présentement le trophée commémoratif ainsi que la bannière. Félicitations à Airbuds. On a un petit problème ici, là. On est encore en train de parler. On va s'arranger avec ça. Félicitations à Airbuds, première édition. Et là, on va annoncer le joueur par excellence. Donc, avec 2 touchés et 1 interception, Anthony Brisebois. Tu peux venir à l'avant. Il y a une petite entrevue. Donc, Anthony, tu viens de faire un pierre deux coups en ce moment avec ton premier Championship Finals win et aussi ton premier trophée de joueur par excellence. Comment tu te sens face à ta performance et la performance de ton équipe?
On a eu une bonne saison toute l'année, puis c'est une belle équipe. On a eu du fun toute la saison. Fait c'est cool de gagner avec cette équipe-là.
Est-ce que tu aimé ça qu'on ajoute ce format-là de 5v5 mix à Flag Plus?
Ouais, à 100%. Le niveau était bon tout au long de l'année. Il y avait tellement de bonnes équipes. On pensait pas vraiment se rendre ici, mais on est rendu là. Donc, c'est vraiment cool.
Félicitations. Donc, c'était Anthony Brisebois, joueur de l'équipe nationale et joueur dont on connaît bien le nom à Flag Plus, mais aussi dans le monde du flag football. Merci à vous, les garçons.
And there you have it. We're back live. 27-14, the final. Airbuds are your inaugural 5v5 co-ed champions. And upcoming our final game of the night, the intermediate final. Signing off for the second to last time, I'm Alex Dubois alongside
Brent Bakken.
And stay tuned for our last game. Thank you.